More and more expats are going broke each and every day out here in Mexico. What's going on with that? Well, you already know what's up. That's going to be today's topic, and we're going to be talking about that today on this show. For all you new viewers, welcome. For all you old viewers, welcome. And for all you casual viewers, I don't know what that even means. That might be in between. Welcome as well. And today, if you're new here, you already know what's up. We do various videos where we talk about various topics of living out here in Mexico. And today's episode is, why is it that a lot of you guys are going broke out here? Now, there's a lot of reasons, okay? Many reasons. In fact, I made a whole list, all right? Bruh. We're going to be talking about it individually as we go through today's episode. But the reality is that, I saw a video suggested to me. Maybe you guys have seen it. A lot of times when you're watching videos of, let's say, moving to Mexico, moving abroad, you're going to start seeing videos of, a bunch of weird things. And so I saw a video where it was basically something similar in title, where it was just this expat, I think it was in the Philippines or something, but this expat is going broke here in the Philippines or whatever. And so I clicked on the video, and as soon as I clicked in the video, and it was an interview with this guy that went broke in the Philippines, and within a few minutes I was like, okay, I see why you went broke. It was pretty easy. Basically he was, older, and he got himself someone very younger, and long story short, she ran through his bank account. Now, this is not the reason why most expats are going broke in Mexico, but that does happen. Let's not get twisted. Now, that situation doesn't happen. I don't think that that's a thing out here per se, but at least I know plenty of guys that have gotten with a girl similar in age, just in the same age range, and that's happened. They just get with the wrong girl, and they have an expensive taste, expensive everything. You already know. So that's a problem, but that's not what is on this list. You know what I mean? That was just one of the things on the list. It's just, I saw that episode, and it prompted me to think about the real reality that a lot of you guys encounter. Doesn't matter what your age, it doesn't matter what your situation, doesn't matter at all. But what you encounter when you come out here to Mexico or you move abroad, doesn't matter where you are. And the reality is that the problem is here. The problem that we're looking at is, why are we going broke? Why are people going broke? How can we avoid it? All right, we're gonna have a solution, towards the end of the episode, as we usually do. But that's the problem. And we're going to try to solve the problem. But how do we solve the problem? Well, we got to dissect it. We got to talk about the problem, and we got to see, what's going on. So we already know right off the bat, if you're coming out here looking for a spouse, which, by the way, we're going to make that a future episode for sure. Okay, I highly recommend yourself getting a Mexican spouse, male or female. But I digress. If you get yourself with the wrong spouse, doesn't matter where you live, that will suck your bank account dry, all right? Most of us already know that, okay? It's no different out here. A lot of people, they come out to a different country, and they think that, that's not a possibility. You know what I mean? That, like in the case of that video that I saw, that of course that 19-year-old girl was in love with that 60-something-year-old guy. Bruh. By the way, I get that asked a lot. You would, It's by the way, I get that asked a lot of like, is that a normal thing in Mexico? And to answer everybody out there, no, it's not. No, it's not. If you're looking for that kind of stuff, go to the East, go out there to Asia. For whatever reason, they think it's okay over there. But I don't, go to a Mexican Catholic family, all right? And see if it's okay with them, all right? But anyways, that's not the topic here. The reality is that, look, there's a lot of things, okay? We got a whole list, okay? We already know. We've already covered the obvious, Don't get yourself an expensive spouse. Unless you have a lot of money. In which case, then go right ahead, Do you. Have fun. Knock yourself out. Budget correctly when it comes to that, all right? Make yourself you get a budget, friendly wife or husband, okay? Make sure that whoever you're with is friendly to your budget, okay? But anyways, all right, let's get into the list, all right? Now, let's tackle the obvious, okay? Besides, the reason why, I thought of making this episode, which again, don't get yourself an expensive spouse. The next thing we're going to talk about is inflation. Look, inflation has hit Mexico just like any other part of the world, okay? Let's not get it twisted, okay? So, a Mexican living in Mexico, okay? A Mexican living in Mexico, making a Mexican wage. Say that 5 times straight.
How dare you?
They are feeling the inflation just like you and everyone else in their respective countries, okay? So when you come out here, the inflation, you're not going to really feel it. You're going to see, a deflation, you know what I mean? Especially if you stay within your means budget-wise, you'll see, hey, things are a lot cheaper than where I'm from. But you got to remember that the typical Mexican that's shopping right next to you, they're feeling it in their pocket, in their budget, in their daily life, okay, the inflation. If you are someone that's been living out here in Mexico for years already, you already know that things have gotten expensive out here exponentially as well. For example, you can get like a bag of flour, just regular bread flour, and it used to be like 10 pesos, which is like 50 cents, okay? And now I went to the store today and it was like 30 something, okay? So it's increased 3 times. So if you've been living here for years, especially before the pandemic, that things have gotten extremely expensive very quickly out here. And you've seen it in your daily life, in your daily shopping life, whatever it is you're doing, okay? Because there are many things that you have to purchase on a daily basis, like not just food and toiletries, but you got to buy lumber, you got to buy an appliance, you got to buy clothes, you got to buy many things, and most things have increased in price out here. Now, again, when you first moved out here with your foreign budget, which used to buy you a lot more, these days it buys you a lot less, but it's still buying you a nice, comfortable life for the most part, okay? And so, you've seen it, but a lot of people that are moving out here right now, a lot of people that are watching this video that has still yet to move out here, when you do move out here, you quickly realize, oh, wait a minute, things have gotten more expensive, or things are pretty expensive. Well, yeah, you don't know they're more expensive. You just got here. But they're expensive. And how do you know? Because when you just go to certain stores and you do certain groceries and you start buying a lot of the same things that you buy, or you go, to restaurants, or you go out, you all of a sudden start seeing, oh, wait a minute, this is, a little pricey. If you, again, are budget friendly and you cook at home, you don't buy a lot of expensive cuts of meat every day, you don't go out to expensive restaurants every day, you'll be fine. You can afford a typical night out where you're eating at the local taco stand or at the local food truck cart type thing, you know what I mean, like a simple quick meal. You can afford to eat very well at home. If you cook at home, it'll be fine. But you are going to realize that, you're probably not going to be able to afford to go out to eat as much as you thought. When I first moved out here, I was broke, but if I had money, I would have been able to go out to eat like every night, no problem. And it would have been just as, expensive as staying at home and cooking. But nowadays, things are more expensive when you go out to eat. So, you got to, remember that. And so inflation has hit out here. And for some of you guys, have not been able to adjust. There's people that have been living out here and they just have not been able to adjust correctly, and they still live, within that same mindset of, I want to go out to eat to this restaurant every day, I want to buy this and that every day, and all of a sudden they're starting to realize, oh my God, I don't have enough money. Oh my God, I don't know why I'm dipping into my savings. And what a lot of people just got to do is that they got to start living within their means and start, budgeting correctly. And maybe they can't afford to buy some, prosciutto, or they can't afford to go buy some sheep's milk cheese, up north, or they can't afford to buy the most expensive bottle of wine. But you know what? They can afford to buy sheep's milk cheese, maybe from the local vendor. They can afford to buy, a local wine that's going to be $5 instead of $15, and so on and so forth, okay? And I can go on and on. So it doesn't matter what your tastes are, whether you like hamburgers, baked beans, and and just grilled cheese and tomato sandwiches or whatever, I don't know.
Bruh.
Or if you like, the prosciutto, the caviar, the wine, and the fine and the dine, you can still, live within your budget, no matter what your budget is out here, and afford a lot of these luxuries. Maybe not all the time, maybe not the finest, but you can definitely afford. Now, again, if you have a lot of money, you're not even watching this video. This is for most people out there that don't have a lot of money. And what do I mean by don't have a lot of money? Well, simply, if your retirement, your pension, what you make a month is around $1,000 US, okay, a month. All right, it's again, you're gonna be living more very comfortably. But again, if you only got like $1,000 a month, again, you got to put it into perspective. Let's say you're only getting $1,200 a month, give or take, and what is that buying you wherever you're from? And what kind of lifestyle is that buying you wherever you're from? Okay, so you got to put it into perspective. Okay, if you are okay with your lifestyle back home with that budget, you're good to go. If you're not okay with that budget, which a lot of you guys are not, then that's when you choose, okay, I got to retire or move abroad and live somewhere else where that money will be stretched out even further. But what that means is that, again, that money will be stretched out even further. So even if you're in the US and you're making $2,500, $3,000, it's still barely enough, but you can live kind of comfortable and pretty nice. Okay? It's the same thing. Out here, if you come out here with $1,200, hey, you can live pretty nice, but it's still, you got to live within your means. You got to budget. You got to make sure that, you're not spending too much and yada, yada, yada. But if you're making $2,000, $3,000 or more USD a month, you're living like a king. But a lot of people out there, they're barely making it on $500, okay? Because there's a lot of people out there that have just, we've got to be realistic. I'm talking about a lot of people out there that are watching these videos these days. They've come on hard times in the U.S. and, they can barely afford to keep what they got. And so I suggest to them is to, get a job, some sort of online gig, some sort of online job. They have jobs. They got gigs, where you can work. I made videos on all this stuff, but get yourself some income. And you don't got to make that much income. Again, especially if there's a lot of people that are artists or that they do other things with their life outside of just work. And so they can work on their craft. They can come out here, work somewhat a month, just enough to pay the bills. By the way, that's what I do. Okay. I came out here with nothing, literally, okay? And now, when I make these videos and I do the consultations and I do a few little things here and there out here, I make barely enough, just enough to pay my bills, okay? I've been able to hustle enough where I got a little bit of savings, not much, but enough where, again, I can live, pretty comfortably in that sense, where, some months are better than others. But at the end of the day, I rely on you guys. I rely on making videos like this where they're helpful to many of you guys, and then you guys find it out of the kindness of your heart. Hey, this guy Jose saved me a few bucks. He entertained me. He helped me with information that I would never have known. Whatever, in whatever way I've helped you, and people just out of the kindness of their heart, they send me $1, $5 more, whatever, or join the Patreon. They become a member of the channel. And there's many ways, okay, that a lot of people contribute to this channel. Some people, again, they don't have a huge budget, and how they contribute to the channel is by simply hitting the like, okay, subscribing, which is a huge, huge thing. I really, again, appreciate that. But sharing the video. If you're going to do one thing, share this video, especially if there's a lot of people out there that are in need of this information. Not just this video, maybe not this video in particular, but at least other videos in which I talk more in depth about, the freedom that you have out here, the realities of how immigration works out here, and what your budget is. I made videos on, budgets, like how you can live here for $500 a month, how you can live here for $1,000 a month, and so on and so forth. My budget a month is like around 1,000 something a month, okay? So that's why, I rely on you guys, but at the same time, hey, I can figure it out where if it comes to a tough month, I can just do a few gigs online. I can just do a few extra little work, jobs here and there, side hustles, and I can make enough to pay all my bills, no problems, okay? And so that's what I tell everybody out there, that if you come out here and, you work enough, online, okay, or you have a pension or retirement where it's getting you in the $1,000 range, $1,000 to $1,500 range, you're going to be living beyond comfortably. But again, only if you are already living, in a box, or if you live very uncomfortably, or if you eat very, like for example, in the USA, there's a lot of people out there that are living a miserable life. They work every single day. A lot of you guys are retired, get a retirement or a pension, and you still got to work, and you can barely make ends meet. You got to choose between medicine and food. You got to choose between, many things like that on a daily basis. Whether you're going to put gas to get to work, to make money, to make more money, to make gas to go to work. And so you're living a pretty horrible life, and you're barely making it as is, with the budget you have, and all of a sudden, you're able to come out to another country and still remain with that same budget, the same amount of money. Again, maybe not that much money, again, $1,000 to $1,500 a month, and you're going to be living very comfortably. A lot of you guys are living very uncomfortably, paycheck to paycheck, and barely afford food, can barely afford your bills. That's how you're going to live out here with a $500 budget. But if you have $1,000 or $1,500 budget, which again, you can easily make that money, not easily, you got to work hard, you got to work, okay? Man, it's just cracking my neck from all that hard work I've been doing. But long story short, a lot of you guys, if you put a little, elbow grease in there, you get yourself an online job, or you make money from gigs or what have you, you're going to find that you're going to be living very comfortably up here. You're going to be able to go to the market and afford organic food, organic meat. By the way, you can just go to the market and everything's organic. It's not like you got to go to a specialty store and get all this stuff. By the way, they do have that. But again, that's extra budget. But long story short, if you're going to cook all your own food, if you're going to, if you want to live a healthy, clean lifestyle, if you want to, be able to go outside and smell the fresh air, outside of living in Mexico City, which is very polluted. But hey, it is what it is. It's like LA, no big deal. You get what you. But like say Merida, where I live in the Yucatan or other parts of Mexico, I can come out and smell the fresh air. We get some, breathe in the air. I'm with nature. I'm living in a very relaxed and amazing life. I work very hard, not just on this, but on many other things. And I get to enjoy my life. My wife also works. She's an artist. She's a painter. She loves her life. We love our life. We live a life that is very modest. We live within our means. We have a budget that we've set for the month, and sometimes we stay under. A lot of times we stay under or on budget, but sometimes we go a little over budget, and that's okay. That's why we have a little savings, or that's why we put a little extra work into our month to make sure we get X, Y, Z. But long story short, we're able to cover all our expenses and live regular, normal, happy lives. Okay, and I think that's what a lot of you guys are looking for. So if you're single and you come out here and you put some work into whatever it is you're doing, you'll be able to afford to live out here very comfortably. If you're out here with the family, again, a couple, and both of you guys put in some online work or what have you, you'll be fine. Again, if you're retired with one retirement check or two retirement checks, you're gonna be more than fine, okay? Again, I've made many videos on you only need like about $1,000 to live a pretty nice, comfortable, okay life, good life. But again, what happens to a lot of people that run out of money out here is that they don't want that. They feel entitled to more. They say, I worked very, 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 very hard my whole life and I want a really awesome retirement and yada, yada, yada. And then they come out here and they spend and then they just don't have enough money. They're building a home and they run out of money halfway through because they didn't realize, that it was going to cost them more than what they originally thought, because there's always cost overruns. There's inflation. Everybody, is going to spend more on materials to build their home. It's going to spend more on man hours to build their home. It's going to spend money on many things that just pop up that are life, medical expenses, any expenses. And so a lot of people, they just don't budget correctly. They come out here and they are thinking that they're on a permanent vacation, when the reality is that if you're moving to Mexico, for example, you're moving to any country, but you're moving abroad, you're just looking for a better way of life. You want to be able to have your cost of living, reflect your work. You want to put in a lot of work and dedication to what you do, but you also want to be able to afford to live your life. You want to be able to live your life, not just work forever, and work insane amount of hours and never be able to enjoy family, enjoy going to the beach or the park or climb a mountain or do anything like that, because not only do you have not enough hours, but you don't have the money. But out here, you can do anything and everything. Like, for example, I can, fill up my tank of gas and spend money on gasoline and drive, to the beach. And it's going to cost me more money, than if I were to just go on the bus, an air-conditioned bus, by the way, that will take me to the beach, and it's only going to cost me like $2, or I can, get my car, which has various expenses, but let's just say gas alone, and it's going to cost me more. Now, yes, there's going to be more convenience to going in your own truck, car, what have you, but let's just keep it real. You know what I mean? Like, these are things that we got to do on a daily basis to cut costs. Now, again, you know what I mean? Like, in many situations in the USA or wherever you're from, you don't really have much choice anymore, with what you can do and how you can do it. Again, out here, even though we have the truck, we might just take the bus, because we might want to go to the beach so bad, but we cannot afford gas. It's okay. We can afford, $1, $2 for the bus. You understand? And so just, things like that, where out here, it doesn't matter what your budget is, meaning, I can take my wife or my girlfriend or whoever, my spouse, to a very, very expensive restaurant and spend 50, 60, 100 US dollars, or more, on our dinner. Or, we can just go to the park and we can go to all the little food stands and have an amazing, beautiful date. We're enjoying the people singing in the park. We're enjoying the families with the kids. We're enjoying the lady making our elote. We're enjoying the new truck that has amazing tacos. We're enjoying, just so many things. And I'm spending like $10, $15, all right? And that's with Uber or / gasoline included, Meal, drinks, fun, gas, the whole thing, So it's up to you, all right? And anyone can afford a $15 date, you know what I mean? Come on. So that's what I'm saying. I mean, like, it's up to you. And now here you got the choice. Where out in the U.S., even if you do that, it's like just one of the taco stands is going to cost you like $15, Multiply that times many times. Now, out here, me and Christian, get like these huge things of corn with all this stuff in it, the elotes, the esquites, whatever. And it cost me like $2, $2.50. You know what I mean? You can get tacos, for like, $1 each or 75 cents each, you know what I mean? Or 50 cents each, whatever, what's a Coca-Cola? If that's too expensive, bring your own Coca-Cola, bring your own. But what I'm saying is that, no matter what your budget, I mean, I've said it many times, when I met Christian, I didn't have anything. That was when I had nothing. And our first date was to get some ice cream. $5. $5, And $5, and I got the most amazing wife ever, all right? That's all it took, because, again, if you're doing it for the right reasons, you're dating for the right reasons, you're meeting the person for the right reasons, all yada, 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 none of that should matter, okay? But again, that's another subject for another day. I forgot what we're talking about here, that we were talking about, budget-friendly solutions. We're talking about, why people go broke out here. And that's the thing, the real reason that a lot of people go broke is because, look, I've said it many times before, and I've talked about it many times in many episodes. A lot of people do not want to integrate with the Mexicans, the Mexican people, the Mexican culture, the Mexican neighborhood, the Mexican everything. The more you integrate within the Mexican neighborhood, culture, people, customs, everything, the cheaper things are going to get, That's how you get the price, the local price. That's how you get the experience. That's how you get everything. But a lot of people want to come out here and they want to still live that manicured, life in the US, where they live in their bubble and they live a certain life and they live a certain way. And it doesn't matter, a lot of you guys might, lie to yourselves and you get a nice house, in an area where there's Mexicans, just because it's in a historic district or what have you, but you're not really mixing in with the people. All right. At least some of you guys don't want to mix in at all, and you just go to the fancy schmancy neighborhoods and the gated communities, yada yada yada, and you live there. And then you complain about the HOA there, and you complain about all the other things there, about that lifestyle. Okay. But that's the thing. And so all of a sudden, you come out here and you want to live in a gated community. You want to live up north. You want to live next to the mall, the grocery store, the whole thing that we live in the USA, which you can live here. You can do that here. It's going to cost you that. Okay. And then all of a sudden, you're going to realize, oh, wait a minute. It's this lifestyle that costs money. Because if I live in another part of the city where I'm living with the people, where you go, walk a block, a block, and you buy the meat from the butcher. You walk maybe another block, or in the same area, you buy, your vegetables and your fruits and your whatever for the day. And I could go on and on, and then you kind of live that way, and all that stuff is fresh and healthy and, grown locally. You know what I mean? Or harvested locally. And you can live like that. Again, I have to pick up things from the hardware store, and I go to the local hardware store, which is, again, just some old lady in her house. And it doesn't matter what it is I need. I buy local. I stay in the neighborhood. Everyone in the neighborhood knows me, whether it's the person that sells ice cream, or, the person at the hardware store, or the person that sells tacos, or, behind my house somewhere over there, or, the lady that sells, has a vegetable and fruit stand, or the meat guy, or... They all know me, and they're all within, walking distance around my neighborhood. But again, if you live in the fancy schmancy neighborhood, you're not going to have that, because they don't want that next to my fancy schmancy house. All right? And so those things are just going to be more expensive, because now you got to go to the grocery store. So you got to spend gas to go to the grocery store, because there's no buses in those neighborhoods, right? There's no, if you're going to take an Uber, it's going to be expensive. Whatever it is, you're going to transport yourself to go to where you got to go. It's going to be more expensive. When you go to those stores, they're going to be more expensive because, the lady where I get my fruits and vegetables, she goes to the market and she just resells it for a few more pesos, or in many cases, she gets it from her own backyard or her own neighbors that are growing it, and then they just sell it there for profit. So you can't get any cheaper than that. Or you go to the grocery store where things are just going to be more expensive because, they're grown more commercially, and they got to be shipped and trucked and put there and made look pretty. And, you got to pay for the employees and the AC and the this and the that. And so, and I can go on and on, and that's with everything. Again, if I go to Home Depot, I mean, literally, okay, like I can get this pair. I mean, I'm just giving you an example. I can get this pair of scissors, okay, for $1 at my local hardware store, or I can go to Home Depot and pay $5 for the same exact thing. I mean, and I can give you many countless examples of that. And a lot of people, they do that, you know what I mean? They want to go to Home Depot. They want to go to certain stores and they spend a lot of money. Look, the reason I go to Walmart is because there are certain things that are cheap there. They're cheaper at Walmart. That's why I go to Walmart. I don't want to go to Walmart, but I go there. I don't buy meat at Walmart. I buy meat locally here, but I do buy certain things at Walmart, like coffee. Because the coffee is coming from Mexico. It's a Mexican purveyor. Mexico. The whole thing is Mexico, all the way up until they're selling it at the Walmart store. But why do I buy it there? Because it's the cheapest price. Just an example. Okay? And other things, like if I'm going to buy some liquor, I mean, I know that, Mr. Walmart has not tampered with that, okay? And I can go on and on, certain things. And so that's a reality. I mean, like, you got to shop around. You got to still live within your means. You got to, again, you know what I mean? If you cannot really afford it, you can barely afford it back home, you got to come down here with the same mentality. And then you're going to see that your dollar is going to be really stretched, okay? And you're going to be able to live very nice and very comfortably. And as time goes on, you'll be able to, save some money and do some things, like in my case, buy a car or buy a bicycle or whatever. I don't know what your situation is going to be. You know what I mean? But long story short, many people out there just do not budget correctly. Many people out there have these false expectations, false realities when they come out here. And then when they come out here, their bubble is burst immediately. I've said it many times. If you are a person that lives paycheck to paycheck, has lived a very, very hard and difficult life like I have, I used to be a chef, meaning I gave up making money to live an awesome life of, working in the kitchen and being a cook and a chef and that whole lifestyle. I said, hey, I want to live an awesome life and have an awesome job, not always, but for the most part, as opposed to making money. And I just went down that route. And so that's why I was always kind of like, whatever. I didn't really care too much about money because as long as I was doing what I loved and I was doing okay, I was doing all right. But it's just like anything else. It gets to the point where it's not enough. But long story short, at the end of the day, I am a person that's used to living a hard life and living, below my means, okay? And for the most part, not having a lot of money. I've made money, I've lost money. I've lost more money than I could remember or think of, okay? But I've lived a life, okay? I've lived many lives, as many of you guys have know already. But with that said, for me, it was a lot easier of a transition to come out here because I've already been at ground zero or rock bottom many times. I grew up like that. I've lived like that. I'm from the dirt, okay? I love getting my hands dirty, and I'm from the dirt. And with that being said, that's why it was a very easy transition. And I love Mexico because in the U.S., no matter how many, successes I've had, I can never really enjoy them. Out here, I've been able to enjoy everything, even at my poorest of poors to right now where I am the most financially stable I have been out here for the most part, meaning, like I said, I can afford to pay my bills. And, again, with your help or not, it doesn't matter. Thank you, by the way, to everyone out there, all the patrons, all the members. Shout out to everyone out there. Shout out to you. Just want to give you a quick shout out. But anyways, with that being said, I live an awesome life that I cannot afford to live in the U.S., meaning with the money I make here, I can barely afford rent back home. Bruh. Okay? So let's just keep it real. Let's keep it real, you know what I mean? And so that's why I choose to live out here, because out here, I got to make just enough for rent, $1,000 something bucks, and that affords me everything. It affords me to live the life that I live, that allows me to make these videos, that allows me to show you guys how you can do the same. It allows me to educate and teach and show you guys that, there is another way. Because look, I know a lot of you guys don't want to leave your country. I know a lot of you guys are going to hunker down and you're going to fight the good fight. And, we need you guys to do your thing. But there's a lot of guys out there, a lot of people out there that are already 30-something, 40-something and above. And that's it. You've already given all you can give for your country or wherever you're from. And now is the time for you to, make sure that the rest of your years are going to be awesome, or as awesome as they can be. And look, that's why I came out here, because it was a risk, but I wanted to continue making sure that my life was an adventure and my life was fun and enjoyable and all this other stuff. And just following my heart has brought me to this point here today, where I am here 4.5 years later, still talking to you guys, making videos, helping you guys, educating you guys, and making sure that you guys don't make a lot of the mistakes that I made, a lot of the mistakes that you guys have made in the past. And, I'm providing, a lot of, information so that you guys can have an easier and smoother transition when you come out here. And for a lot of you guys, make you think twice or 3 times whether you want to come out here or not, because it might not be the right fit. Because that's a lot of things, that's a very important thing too. A lot of people end up going back home because they just expected one thing and got something else. But like I said, if you're a survivor, if you are someone from the dirt, if you've already been through the worst of times, and beyond, this ain't nothing. This is going to be beyond an amazing journey and fun. And like I said, all you need is some whatever job or some whatever income, and the rest is history, okay? Because you already know you only need a roof over your head, you only need some food in the fridge, okay? and that's it. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need much. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need AC, really. You don't need, to have all the lights on all the time unless you're filming a video like me. And so on and so forth. So you already know there is a way that you can not only live out here but thrive out here on a very modest budget. Don't be a statistic. Don't be like many people out there that have gone broke out here trying to keep up with the Joneses, trying to, be the president of, the Lake Buena Vista second phase, whatever, you know what I'm saying. As long as, you come out here for the right reasons, meaning, hey, I want to make sure that the rest of my years, whether it's 40 years or 10 years, that you have left in your life that your life, or more, you know what I mean? It could be 60 years, that those years, okay, are not wasted on futile things and that you get to enjoy them. And again, for many people out there that have families and they have even more, out there that they're, that they are responsible for, even more of a reason, okay, for you to, make this decision, whether it's moving here or not. Look, a lot of people, I got to wrap it up. I already see the time. But a lot of people, again, you don't have to move all the way out here to where I live. A lot of people, they just, move to Tijuana, all right, and they work in San Diego, and then they just drive and commute back and forth. Yeah, sure, your family is going to have to get used to Mexico the same way, everything I'm telling you, but all I'm saying is that you can still, be in the U.S. and you can still afford to live here and be able to, be as connected or as disconnected as you want. For me and for a lot of people, I want to be as far away from that as possible, and for many reasons. There's a lot of craziness going on over there, and I don't want to be a part of it right now, and that's just that. And but we all have our reasons for being out here, and it is what it is. So, with all that being said, guys, I think the solution is live within your means. I think it goes without saying. I think most of you guys have figured it out. The reality is, why do a lot of people go broke? Well, simply because they just, they have never figured out how to budget. They have never really lived a life where they gotta, scrap a little bit, and they gotta, I don't know, budget. I don't know what else to say. And, again, you know what? We've already discussed everything. I'm going in circles. Let me shut the hell up. I think it's time for us to wrap it up because you guys have watched enough, and I don't know if I have enough more footage. I think we're running out of footage as well. So, but anyways, I know you guys love this content. I know you love listening to me, and you love the whole thing. And so, with that being said, guys, you already know what to do. You already know what's up. If you like this kind of content, don't forget to please like, please subscribe, please share, please leave a comment down below. All right. But most importantly than anything else, please stay awesome. Thanks again for watching, and I really appreciate you, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.